Hi cuties! If no one has told you yet today, I want you to know that they are jealous. For those of you that are new, welcome, I'm Jem, and in today's pick card reading, we're going to be discussing why are they jealous of you? In pick card readings, you can view them how you like, you can watch the whole video, or watch whatever pile catches your eye, as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only, you can decide your own future and you have your own free will. Also know that every reader reads differently. I tend to read pretty candid and honest, so there could possibly be some deep messages. And before we hop right into the video, I want to let you guys know the different ways you can help out my channel. One is by subscribing, that is the biggest way you can help. And I also offer personal readings on my DEPOP, that's linked in the description. 20 minutes of any deck you see on my channel for your eyes only. I also have an Instagram where I post some nail art and motivational tarot advice, so check that out as well. I also have an Amazon wish list of decks that I desire if you are feeling generous, but know that any donations are extremely appreciated but unexpected, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. So, this is usually where I talk about things I'm going through, or this is usually the section where I talk about that, but I don't really have anything to talk about right now, so I think we should just hop right into the piles. I mean, besides my nails not being done, I'm kind of in like a shedding phase, I guess, of this week, so my nails aren't done. We're doing it all natural, baby, for today. But I tried picking some rings that fit like the cards that I chose for the 3 piles. So yeah. Now let's hop into the piles. So I also have the thumbnails here with us on the side, so I chose before, which I'm going to continue to do. But we have pile 1 here. So pile 1 is trees, mountain, gardens, like basically just a foresty type environment. It looks very natural, very green. So I chose this card specifically to fit with the thumbnail that was chosen for pile 1, which is this girl with reddish orangey hair. She's got her ear pierced. She looks like she has dark grayish blue eyes. She's also got a white t-shirt on. She's got pretty fair skin. These are all anime girls that I found online, so they all look quite the same. I know it's not really much of a difference, but yeah, I'll try to be more, I'll try to have each pile a little bit more different, because I know this reading is, a lot of the thumbnails are quite similar. But that's for pile 1. These are also the dream cards, the deck that is supposed to be the dream decoder, where they talk about dreams. So there could be something significant about dreams or being dreamy. You could be very dreamy. But there could be something very natural about you, pile 1. Maybe you like to hike, maybe you live in the forest. You could be a hardworking bee, because there's a bunch of bees here. You maybe smell the flowers, or maybe you collect flowers, or maybe you work at a flower shop or something. Maybe you work outside a lot in the forest and nature. Now for pile 2, and also if the thumbnail resonates with you, pile 1, please pick pile 1. Now pile 2, we have the cityscape, city life. It also, we have the red sun, and it's almost like the sky matches the same color as the city. Also recently we just had, I live in New York, so this kind of reminds me of New York and how New York just recently had a orange sky due to the wildfires in Canada. So there could be something significant about that. Maybe you live in New York, pile 2. If that resonates with you, you may want to pick pile 2. We also had the orange sun. Or you could just live in a cityscape that might be significant. For your thumbnail too, pile 2, the girl has short pink hair, pink outfit. She's also got pink headphones. It could be like some sort of gamer girl type aesthetic. Maybe you live in the city with that. Maybe you do gaming, Twitch streaming, anything like that. She also has blue eyes. She's also quite fair as well. So if that resonates with you, my beautiful pile 2, then please pick pile 2. Now on to the third pile, we have a social media. We have phone, and we have the phone and like a bunch of apps, icons. This makes me think of social media. The dream card, though, says cell phones. This talks about the cell phone. You could be someone who maybe is addicted to your cell phone, I just thought of. But this also makes me think of social media presence, maybe constantly on the phone or posting Instagram photos or influencer type. Maybe even some sort of social media presence for you, pile 3. There could be something like that. Also, in the thumbnail, she has blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin. She has long blonde hair. She also has bangs. I mean, everyone in this pile has bangs, actually. She's wearing like a black top, and she's also like wearing something a little bit more revealing, as well as the second girl than from the first girl. So this could also be maybe recently you had a dream about your cell phone, something happening on your cell phone that could also resonate with you, pile 1. I'm at pile 3. I'm so sorry. So if that resonates, please pick pile 3. And now let's hop into the reading. Hello, my beautiful pile 1s. If you chose this thumbnail, as well as the natural nature card, this will be your reading on why are they jealous of you. So you could be thinking of a specific person that maybe you're wondering why they're jealous of you, but this could also just be an array of different people who are jealous of you. So let's get into the reading. So I shuffled all your oracles off camera. We're going to do each row one by one, just because I feel like it might be a better way to read like this rather than having all the cards first displayed. So we got the Lion and we got the Sagittarius card in reverse. Let's see what this is. I think you are definitely someone who is patient, regal, and a complete master of life. I think people see you as someone who's quite quiet. I'll say that more with the cards. There's more cards that came out that talk about that, but I think people see you as someone who's very calm. Like if you think about the Lion, they only attack very minimal. Like it's like they're mostly relaxing, mostly observing, mostly watching, and they like just, if you ever seen them out in like they're like the king of the natural kingdom, like the animal kingdom, you know, like if you think of Lion King, it's like they are the emperor, they're like the leaders, the complete masters of, you know, their ecosystem. So I think with you, it's like people are jealous of you because they see you as someone who's like, honestly, like, obviously people shouldn't think this way and shouldn't compare, or, but I feel like people think that you're above them. Like, and you may not even try to like come off that way. People just see you that way. You're very like you could be very quiet, and people don't really know what you're thinking. People are always like wondering, what is this person thinking? What are they gonna say next? You may not really give off with your like face as well. You could be someone who's very like withdrawn, very someone who's not really you're someone who's withdrawn. I think you also might be someone who's very serious, because this card says very serious, and we also have the reverse Sagittarius, which talks about childish here. So I think you are someone who's very serious. I think you're also someone who doesn't really take bullshit from anybody. I think you're definitely someone who you're someone who's serious and you don't like take disrespect. Like the lion is like no one messes with the lion. No one does because they know that they're not going to win. So for the next row we have Soar, the bald eagle, and the death card. And with the death card, that's where I thought with the death card, and that's what makes me think of like, well, I don't think you take shit from anybody, but I also don't think you're the type to cut relationships with people. Like I feel like you may be due for serious transformation, but I don't think when it comes to separating yourselves from friendships, I think you're someone who maybe would be on the scale of like people pleasing a little bit, of like wanting to be friends with everyone, but I think at some aspect there's also like you don't take shit from people, but you're always looking to like work things out. I feel. And I think people are jealous of you because it's like you have so many friends and everyone looks up to you. So people could be really jealous of that, and people maybe want to even be in your place, like in that position. Another thing, pile one, I think you're someone who's definitely a role model. People literally look up to you. People see you as a role model, someone that they could, ask for advice or just ask, they'll come to you for either advice or just like for you to listen, or even they want to guide. It's almost like they want to lay out their life or design their life to follow in your footsteps because they see how far you've come and how like the position you're in now, and it's like they want to be there. You may also have a heart. For some reason, this makes me think of like a tattoo. You could have like a heart tattoo somewhere on your body that might look like this, like might have like an eye in the center. You could also be a Sagittarius, and there could be some sort of significant air sign. With the bald eagle, this talks about flying, this soaring through life. Am I ready to be seen? I think you could definitely be withdrawing right now with either, you could be in a place of withdrawing, like maybe people haven't seen you a lot recently, maybe you haven't really been out and about. You could be in like a hermit position where you're kind of just like staying in a bit, reflecting back to your roots, your origin, like you're like, there was something in this card that talked about sorry, it's kind of difficult to breathe right now. It talks about stepping back into like soul searching. It talks about soul searching, like, and I think the way you do it might be withdrawing a bit from people, from friends, from everything, and just being with yourself, and that could really help you. It talked about the silence really helps you listen. It clears your mind, it clears everything around, and like withdrawing, the silence helps you really figure out what it is you want, what it is you want to do, where you want to go, how do you want to live your life. And let's get into more of the cards because there's more of this being said. I could actually, you know what? Let me put these cards next to it because these also talk about that. We have this silence, which this is what the card, and then we have these two. These don't really go together, but I'll talk about it. So with the silence here, the silence card literally in this talks about needing the silence, needing to sit in the silence. It literally asks, seek out a place of stillness to hear what it is you need. Take time to meditate. So I think you might be in a meditative state. People might be jealous of you that you could be gone for so long and then you could come back, and it's like, not only have you improved, but your friendships haven't disappeared. Everyone's still your friend. Everyone's still, oh, like, so excited to see you. It's like you have this beautiful way, this beautiful perfect um way of managing your time and not I wish I could explain it better. Like, the more you're away and the little times that you do show out and you do come to things, the more people appreciate the time that you do, show up. It's like you don't overdo it, you don't overshow, you're not constantly at every single party or everywhere. It's like people appreciate the times you do come out. And then for the rest of the time, you're putting yourself first. And people really like look up to you and like want to be like you in that reason, because it's like you take the silence to learn, and then when you come back, it's like you're always growing, you're always learning, and people aren't like cutting themselves off from you because of it. Because if anything, it makes them appreciate you more. That you put yourself first, but you did, once in a while show up for them. And I think people really appreciate that. Another thing that people are jealous of, another thing too, we have the death card and we have this little skull here. And then the death card, it usually talks about, like, we have the death, and it literally talks about the death in here in the silence card. And it says how the skull represents, a well-lived life. And it almost makes me think of this tarot card reading I watched where it literally asks, if you were to die today, if you were, to pass away, what would you regret? And also in this silence, this time of silence, think about how do you want to live your life? What are some things that you can do to live a fulfilling life that you want to? And that's why the silence card is like, she's figuring out what it is that she wants, and she's touching the skull. It's like how to live a fulfilling life. She's soul searching, asking herself, how can she live the most fulfilling life? And that is something that maybe you ask yourself, or maybe that's something you are still trying to figure out. And it's like, you may want to wonder, or you may want to ask yourself, what are some regrets you may have that you could possibly do now? Like, live this prosperous, fulfilling life that you want to live. Stop holding yourself back. Stop letting other people hold you back. And live the life that you want to live. And figure exactly how you can do that. Here, we have some appearance cards to talk about specifically your appearance. What about your appearance do people are jealous of? I think people are jealous of your eyes. I think you might have a like distinct eye color that could be very beautiful. And I think something specific is they could be like a grayish, because I'm most certain that this card represents like a grayish, bluish type of eyes, and people could be jealous of your eye color. You could also possibly have green eyes. I think there's a green eye here, and she has green eyes. So there could be some sort of distinct color. You may have green eyes that are very, that stand out a lot. You could also have a really small forehead that someone could be jealous of. Oh, I didn't even notice that this girl has a cat on her back. You could also have you might have a spirit guide that could be a cat that's always like here to guide you. It talks about you need to hear the silence. You need to be in the silence in order to hear like the messages from your guides. And you could have a spirit guide that is a cat that also may have green eyes. I didn't get to finish with the soaring card here. The soaring card basically is just really talking about how you have to chase your dreams, be authentic, tell the truth, and act in your own bravery. This talks about courage. This talks about being brave. I think people see you as someone who's brave. I think people see you as someone who always tells the truth. They see you as someone who's always chasing their dreams, and you don't let people stop you. You don't give a fuck. You literally do not give a fuck what other people think. And people are tremendously jealous and also just look up to you because of that. They see you as a role model. I think also it's like you're soaring, and like when I think of soaring, there's another card talking about flying that I'll pull out now, actually. Just because it fits with the story, like in the order. But we have good things do come true, and we have the flying card. It's like you are literally flying, you are soaring, you are making waves in the sky. Literally. It's not even like you're fighting the current or trying to flow with the water. It's like you're flying, you're literally flying in the fucking sky. That's how easy it is for you. There's nothing trying to stop you. And people are like, damn, like nothing gets in this person's way. This person is just soaring. And I think also that could be like with your career, your passion, or something of that kind. But I think also you may be pulling back right now in something specific that might be where you're not soaring. You're kind of like, you're more in a state of withdrawal right now. You could be in a state of just like really stepping back. But I think within time, it's like with some time, you're going to soar again. Like there was some sort of like stoppage just now. Like there was something that did stop, but it's like you'll continue. It'll be like, okay, continue soaring. And I think it's because you may have chosen. It wasn't even like something stopped you. It was like you stopped yourself. And you're like, hold on, wait a second. I need a withdrawal. I need some silence to think. And then you're gonna continue soaring once again. So it's like people don't even see like things get in your way. It's like you may get in your own way, to be honest. And it's like you may not even do it on purpose. It's kind of like, okay, you may be like, hold on one sec, let me think. You know, it's not even like you stopped or like, you know, harmed yourself or like self-sabotaging. It's not like that. It's more of like, you're like, wait a second, let me think. And then you're like, okay, let's keep going. And people are like, wow, like she's not, or I said she. I said she because of the thumbnail. But they're not stopping, you know, they continue to soar. And another thing I wanted to say is I think you have a lot of luck. You're very lucky, pile one. You're in some sort of new beginning, especially with the number one, the pile one. One represents like a new beginning, a new start to something. And it's always like, this is talking about stepping into this new adventure, taking the risk, and not being scared to take risks, jumping in with both feet, soaring, moving quickly, and with courage and no fear. This talks about having no fear. And it's like, you are doing that. People are like, wow, this person has no fear. They're so courageous. They're not scared of anything. Like people are they see how brave you are. They see how courageous you are. And people are really jealous. We also have, in reverse, a time of healing. And we also have the detective card. I think people see you as someone who's very intuitive. It says great powers of observation and intuition, desires to seek out the truth. I think you're someone who's very, someone who appreciates the truth, someone who could be very honest. You could also just be someone who, likes to get to the bottom of things, but also you may have an intuition where you're like, oh, you may see something, like you may predict something to happen before it even happens because your intuition is so strong. And it's like, you don't like have to see it through. You're kind of just like, I already know. I already know what's going to happen, and I'm just going to continue on my own and not, you know, lose my mind over something that, like, you already see not working out, like it not being your path, almost. Like, I feel like you may go through paths and you're like, oh, I don't think this is going to work out, based on your intuition. And maybe even seeing the red flags. You could be someone who's very good at seeing red flags. And it's like your body even knows as well. So I think people may be jealous of you is because it's kind of like you already, like, you're really good at observing people. You could be someone who just, you know, people watches. You could be someone who just, like, observes people's body language as well. I also just thought of, like, FBI. Because I see a poster on so I have, like, a background on my computer, and there's a poster in the background image of, like, Men in Black. Like, you know that movie, and it's like, aren't they FBIs? It's like, it's almost like you're an FBI. Like, you know what other people don't know. Like, you have, like, the background knowledge, and, like, even, like, things that people aren't supposed to know, it's like, you know. And, like, you don't even have to be told or shown. You know based on intuition. I hope that makes sense. So then the last card we have, a time for healing. You could be in a state of, like, healing. Like, for example, like I said, the withdrawn. There could be a lot of friends that are maybe jealous that you could take so much time away and, like, come back and it's like nothing has changed. And yet, except for the fact that you've grown so much, and people are really jealous of that. People are really jealous that it's like you're unstoppable. Literally, you're unstoppable, Pile 1. And people are jealous. So sorry. People are jealous because they wish that they didn't get into so many blockages. They wish that they could be so nonstop, like, good things coming to them. They're jealous of all the good luck you have. They're jealous of all the good things that are coming to you. They're jealous of your intuition. They're jealous of your honesty, your bravery. And honestly, anybody that is jealous, I don't think they're, like, maliciously, you know, upset, but I think they're like, damn, like, you know, I look up to this person. It's not even like people are, like, angry with you or, like, malicious. It's like, there's a part of them that is jealous, but I think they're also like, damn, well, good for them. You know, like, I feel like this sense of maturity, like, they see you as a role model. They look up to you, Pile 1. I think also this is a wish fulfillment, like, there's something good coming to you. There's good things to come. And I think this is a real message, is saying whatever you were trying to think of or take a step back and think thoroughly about, that's okay. You know, give yourself the time to think, but also know that you can continue forward, trusting yourself, and you honestly don't have to worry. Good things will still come to you. Either way. All right, let's get into your tarot now. I want to use this tarot. We're just going to pull some more cards on top of this, and then maybe we could pull some words and charms. And that will be the end of your reading, Pile 1. Let's see what they have to say. Also, we're going to do an 18+ extended reading to see what people are jealous of you, some sexy messages on my Patreon. If you're interested in doing it, I just uploaded the last episode, or my last pick a card reading. I did the same thing where I had an 18+ extended. I ended up just spending, like, it's only going to cost $1 to watch. So if you want to watch it, you can. It's $1. And you get also all the other videos as well. I might make it like $3 just because I know all the readings are going to be shown. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll increase the price as I go on. But right now it's $1. So if you're interested, get on now because you get to see all these free readings. Well, it's not free, but $1 reading I think is pretty good. And it's all like juicy 18 plus stuff. Anyways, okay, so we have 5 of Cups. 1, 2, 3. Got Justice. There could be some sort of Libra, Scorpio energy. We do have Scorpio specific with the Death card here as well. What are people jealous of? Which pile? 1, 2, 3. Got the World card. 1, 2. Oh, we got this card. 3 of Pentacles. I feel like four cards is good. Let's do that. Okay, pile 1. So I think you could have definitely been facing some hardship, some sort of regret, like some sort of difficult thing happened where maybe that's why you're like, I need time to think, I need time to process this. And people see that you're in this rut, they see that you're in this difficult period of time. There may have been some sort of failure that you may have faced, but also know that failure is the first step of success, is because you need to fail in order to learn. Failing is a learning process, and I think people see that. People see that you see failure that way. Like, people see that you aren't afraid to fail. You're not afraid to lose once in a while, because you know that it's all a learning experience. I think another thing too is like, even when you're in this hard time, or maybe even when someone has, disappointed you, you still, at the end of the day, try to give a fair, equal, it's like you still try to understand them and still give them the benefit of the doubt, and also like treat them with fairness and kindness. I think you could also be someone who is like, you put the truth first, no matter what. Even during this situation, it's like you told them the truth and you expected the truth, and you put the truth before your emotions. No matter how it is you feel, you still are like, listen, this is the truth, and I can't hide that. I need to tell you the truth at the end of the day. And I think people really appreciate it. It's like you still have this balance of your mind and your heart. You don't let one before the other. It's like your mind and your heart need to be on the same page. And I think that's another thing that people are like, you're not foolish when it comes to that. You think very thoroughly, even when your heart may want to go one route. That could be something specific with like your love life. Also, we have the World card here. I think because of this hardship, and even though it was hard, it's like you still push through, and you're still doing the things you need to do to push through. It's like, even like a loss or like hard things you experience, you're still pushing through. You're still, pushing through. And I think that's like a part of like the stability. Even we have like the 4 cards here. It's like you are creating stability. Even when you are sad, upset, you are still pushing through. You know that it's like, it's gonna suck, and you could be sad, you could feel this, but there's like a sense of like healthy emotional maturity. It's like when you get sad, it's like, it dips down a little bit, but then you're right back at like this stable emotional place. You don't let things like destroy your whole life and your stability that you've had. It maybe like damages it for a couple days, but then you get right back in. Even if you're still sad, you still are able to make this stability continue. I think you're seeking personal closure especially with whatever has happened. And I think that's maybe why you need the silence to think. And people were like, wow, like this person's very mature, that they're not acting impulsively. They're giving themselves the time to think. And they're not trying to do any delays or shortcuts or quick fixes. Like they're giving themselves the time. I think also we have, you could be also working like alone with you could be working on your own, or working by yourself when it comes to like your career. Maybe you are, you may have chosen another path of just being on your own, working alone, being by yourself. Maybe you're single right now and you're kind of like, I need to work on my career, work on myself. And people are like, damn, like this person is independent. And it's like they don't need anybody. They don't need anyone else. And it's very inspiring. Okay, that is what I have for you, pile 1. We're gonna now get into the juicy sexual messages. We're gonna use all these decks here. I'm gonna pull them out so you could see them if you're interested. We're gonna use the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Oracle, as well as the Manara Erotic Tarot, and the Oracle as well. So if you're interested, we're gonna hop right into that right now. But if you're interested in watching, go check out my Patreon. Check out this little description in the corner, top right corner right here. If you click on that link, you could go straight to it and watch the video. It's going to be $1 to watch it, so you should definitely check it out. And I'm going to try to do like 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is a decent size. But anyways, if you're stopping here, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 2. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on why are people jealous of you. So the first card we got is the Vampire in the Shadow attribute, which talks about depleting other people of psychic survival, chronic complaining, or codependency in reverse. This could be meaning so far, I need to pull some more cards, but this could so far be talking about how you may have struggled with codependency in the past, or possibly maybe even complaining in the past, and people may see that you like don't allow that type of behavior in your life anymore. Maybe you've healed from this, moved past this, maybe you struggled with these things, and maybe you moved past from being codependent or complaining. I think we also have a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. You could be someone who maybe changed into being someone who became a nicer energy to be around. Like maybe you became someone who's more selfless than rather selfish. Maybe in the past you were you struggled with these things due to like trauma, or even, I know I'm not like a therapist, but there could have been you may have been facing a really hard time in your life, and sometimes, you know, hurt is what makes people hurt others. You know, it's like you were hurting, and that's why maybe you were hurting others at the time and like draining other people's energy or something, and maybe you realized that you were doing that and you saw that, and now you're like, damn, I want to heal, I want to be better, I want to have a nice warm energy to be around. And maybe you're someone who's very selfless, very giving, you give a lot to others. You could maybe even like with Virgo, this makes me think of like gifts. You could be a gift giver, someone who likes to give a lot of gifts. Let's see what other cards. Oops. Hold on. You may have gone through an awakening. You might be at peace now. You may have reached a level of peace, and maybe people are really jealous of that because they see how calm and collective you are now. Maybe you're really like a warm, nice, inviting energy to be around. 1, 2, 3. We have the Cobra. You could have a significant fire placement that might be important. I'm pretty sure The Cobra talks about. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I'm pretty sure that one talks about like your passion or some sort of passion. 2, 3. You got the sky. One, 2, 3. We got music. You could be someone who's definitely in like a very I'm just getting like really warm. Like you give off this really warm, inviting, kind energy. And you might be someone that maybe looks up at the sky now. Like you may like do this. You may have healed your inner child. That's what I'm getting. Like healed inner child. And through staring at the sky, you know, looking at what is it called, where you like you try to find what's shape the clouds are, and you like oh, that looks like a chicken, or that looks like a pie or something. What is it called? I think it's like just looking up at the clouds, I guess. I'm just gonna say that. And it was like, that may have healed your inner child. Maybe even listening to music or creating music. You could be someone who makes music. Maybe healed your inner child. Generosity. I think you're someone who's definitely very generous. I think you give a lot to others. And maybe even giving. Maybe you create things with your hands, and like just giving those things away maybe heals your inner child as well. Like these little, this is what, you're like the little rabbit. You wrap up this little gift and you give it to others. Like very sweet, thoughtful gifts. May have healed your inner child. We have the spring. It's almost like you maybe are like the spring. You could have colored hair as well, like because the image for pile 2 was a girl with pink hair, but you could also just have a distinct colored hair. Maybe red. Could like a red. Let's get one of these. One, 2, 3. Falling. And let's get something about your appearance. What about your appearance do people like? You could be very athletic. You could have a really athletic body. It also was like kind of coming in reverse. You could have a very like skinny, like very feminine shape to your body as well. Like you might not be athletic at all. It could either be like you could just have like a very like thin, petite like body shape as well. But I would say more of you who are watching this video may be athletic, and that may have also healed trauma as well. Like for example, like feeling like you could protect yourself, feeling strong enough, you know, feeling strong, may have also helped. I think you may have been at a place where you felt like you were falling, into a dark place. Maybe you struggled a lot in the past, and people see you as almost like, honestly, like Batman. I'm getting like Batman vibes. Like you may have lost a lot in the past. You struggled a lot. You have a background story, background plot to show that, you know, you struggled a lot. And oh my god, I literally have Batman in the fucking... That's so weird. In the last reading, I looked at the background on my computer and they had the FBI poster, and I literally was like talking about it. And I just started talking about Batman, and my background on my computer has a poster of Batman as well. That's so fucking funny. Anyways, I thought of like Batman and like how almost like Batman's like, you know, supposed to be like a villain, but they're not really. He's still like a hero. He still does justice. Like he is someone who is always trying to do better and always trying to do good. And I think at the end of the day, like you may have struggled a lot and had a lot of maybe struggles. Maybe you're going to therapy as well. Maybe you've healed through therapy. You went through therapy that there was a lot of things. Maybe you learned a lot about your perception and how your perception could be so steered from reality due to um, a lot of difficult struggles. Like, for example, what is that word called? Cognitive dissonance, where it's like, for example, someone has struggled so much with their weight, so much all their whole life they struggled with their weight, and people would always constantly make comments about their weight, or there was someone, maybe specifically like a family member, always commenting on their weight, and they struggled so much with that that for the rest of their life, until they healed that thought, the way of thinking, they would think that everyone was commenting all the time on their weight, even though maybe someone was just saying something nice or trying to wasn't even about their weight, but they automatically assumed it was about their weight because of this very limiting cognitive dissonance. It's like, it's almost like a delusion. You create this delusion in your mind. So, and you may have healed from those things. You may have realized that those are all just thoughts that aren't true. It was all just an illusion. And I think you may have healed a lot through that. I think you became someone who's very selfless, very giving, very generous. You may have healed your inner child, finding peace finally at life and happiness. You may go cloud watching, looking up at the clouds with people, listening to music. You might create music. There could have been a sense where maybe you were falling with maybe something to do with your weight. There could have been something with your physical body that maybe you struggled with, and I think you finally are achieving what it is you want, and maybe even working out. You're building this beautiful, like, physicalness that you could look at, like your physical body. You're building on this, and it's like your body is like a just first display of the hard work you put in. You put in the hard work for your mentality, but now it's like, it's almost like your physical body is physically showing the work you put in. With the springtime card, let me see what that card is. It says, allow water to cure you, release your emotions and anxieties. I think you may have struggled a lot with your emotions. Maybe you were very emotionally unstable in the past. Like maybe you struggled a lot emotionally, but I think people are jealous of how emotionally stable you are now. You may have healed a lot, you may have grown a lot, and people are like, wow, like this person, I can't affect this person anymore. I can't control their emotions anymore. And people are jealous that they can't do that to you anymore. You don't give them the reaction. You don't step into you're not allowing them the control over your emotions anymore. People may have went out of their way to try to get you upset with their conversations, tried to say things to upset you. For example, like they'll tell you like these horrible things to try to get you really upset. Or even like, for example, they'll tell you like, oh, well, this person said this thing about you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're purposely telling me this stuff to get me upset and trying to get a reaction out of me, but you don't give them that. You're like, oh, well, that's great. I hope they're doing wonderful. Like, that's the type of reaction you give now, and people are like, damn, like, this person doesn't give a fuck what anyone says, and I can't control them anymore. Their emotions are not my control anymore, and people don't control you anymore. I think also with your anxieties as well, you may have healed your anxieties. Maybe you are a lot more calm, slow person, or like someone who you may have moved very fast in the past, and maybe that's what caused a lot of like anxieties, like I need to move, move, move. But now it's like it will get done. Whatever I'm stressing out about, it will get done at some point, and I don't need to do it right away. It's okay. It will get done at some point. Let me, my happiness, my peace is what is important right now. And the Cobra here, let's see what the Cobra says. The Cobra is pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. I knew it was something about a teacher. Okay, so you could be someone who teaches others about mental health. You could be someone who's big into mental health. You may have learned a lot about mental health. You could be pausing and waiting. You could be someone who's a lot more patient now. It's like the Cobra waits, sits and waits, and knows exactly when to make the reaction, like to take action. You might be really good at knowing when to take action and when not to take action. You could be really good at letting things go and knowing when to stick up for yourself. I think also you could be a student of life. You could be very humble. You could also be someone who's very wise. It's almost like you're a teacher. You teach others. You're very loving, you may be very protecting. You could also be someone who's like loves to protect other children. You could be someone who protects children. And I thought of that because it's just like a lot of me talking about like inner child. Like you could be someone who, you may have like younger siblings that you may like protect or stick up for, or like snap back with, because you may see the repeating past of like some of the things that you endured, or you may see that with other children, and like you're like the advocate for children. Like you could be someone who sticks up for children and wants to protect their inner child, which is so like kind and sweet. And like you may be like a teacher. You could literally be a teacher, someone who works with children. I don't know why that's coming out, but yeah. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You could be constantly playing the role of the student learning and then also the teacher again and teaching others. It's like you're learning from someone else and then you're becoming the teacher by teaching others. Okay, let's now get into your tarot. Pile 2. Where the hell is it? The cards. Oh, here they are. See, what else are people jealous of? Pile 2, we have Page of Cups in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. I think you're very hardworking. You're definitely maybe going through a certain situation that you're working hard for. It could be like, for example, if you're becoming a teacher, you could be really working hard to, you're staying diligent, you're staying passionate, and you have high standards. Excuse me. This is the mastery card, okay? And this is like becoming a master at something. And it could literally be like music. There could be a lot of maybe you make music for children. Maybe you write like books, like children books or something. I'm not really sure, to be honest. There could be some sort of hard work you're putting in right now, and it could be you're putting a lot of hard work towards music. And I think people are very jealous of your determination and how good you're able to maintain a prosperous, stable, hardworking. Like you may work so hard that it's almost like normal people would burn out, but you work so hard and you're still able to maintain it. With the Page of Cups, so the Page of Cups is usually not the best card. It talks about like emotional immaturity. and insecurity. But I think people are jealous of your healing of that, because I think the people that are jealous of you, it's almost like in the past, especially maybe if you had beef with people in the past during that time, like maybe when you were emotionally immature or insecure, just like everyone else, everyone's at that point of time at some point. When you were at that point and you may have had friends that maybe you would fight with who was also emotionally immature, and maybe maybe you don't have good terms, or you didn't leave things on good terms with them, and they're still jealous of you, preying on your downfall. Like, those people are jealous that you're finally stepping out of that position now. You're finally healing those things while they're still left in the dust, being emotionally immature and insecure. I think you're like actually taking the steps to heal those things. I think you also have a lot of new ideas on how to find peace and how to prosper and how to let things go. And I think you're working very hard towards that. You're working very hard, maybe even towards your mental health, towards peace, towards your happiness. And a lot of people may be jealous too because they're unhappy. And then with the Tower moment here, the Tower card, you may have experienced the Tower moment. You may have had a lot of personal transformation, a lot of suffering. You had a disaster, maybe like you suffered a lot, and people see that it's almost like you became the sun after. Like, this was the hardship you faced. This was the time and place where there was the Page of Cups, and now it's like you're working hard towards the sun, this inner child, like healing this inner child, being optimistic, being happy, being not having a care in the world about where it is you go and how you get there. It's like you still put the hard work in to find this warmth, this happiness. You are the sun. It's like you became the sun. It's very beautiful. All right, pile 2. That is all I have for you today. I am going to do an 18+ extended reading if you want to check it out. The last reading I did was 20 minutes, so it'll probably be around 20 minutes as well. It's only $1, and it's going to be, if you want to click on this icon right here, this is for pile 2. It's going to bring you to a link where you just pay $1 and you get to see a full, detailed 18+ reading. I freely get to say whatever it is I want on Patreon, because I can't say some things on YouTube. So I'll be saying the nasty, the gritty, whatever on there. All of the pictures also will be fully shown. I'm going to be using these decks here. The Manera Erotic Oracle, as well as the Sexual Magic Oracle. Oh, fuck, I dropped it. As well as the Sexual Magic Tarot and the Manera Erotic Tarot. So those cards are going to be shown. We're going to be talking about maybe things about you sexually that people are jealous about, or like how sexy you are. Pile 2. So if you really want to check that out, check it out. It's only $1. And the extended reading will be there. So yeah, if you're not going to check it out, this is the ending of your reading. This is where I'm going to leave you here, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please let me know down in the comments. Give this video a like. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 3s. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on why are people jealous of you. So we have all these cards, all the decks pre-shuffled off camera. 2, 3. Let's see what we got. We have the Artist in reverse. Okay, so you could be someone who's very creative. You may have like a very creative mindset, and almost like me, you may understand design. Like you could be someone who understands design, and you may be really good at design. You maybe have went to school for design. There could be some sort of element of sadness. You know what? I felt called to do it that in the beginning, so let's just do it that way. There could be some sort of unresolved sadness that maybe you have, but like people may see that you push through. Like even though you're sad, you still push through. 1, 2, 3. Let's get all the cards out first, and then we'll get into that. We have Take Over. Is it time to reclaim and reinvent the structure of life? Get a piece of advice. Why are people jealous of pile 3, 2, 3? Impermanence. That makes me think of like, you're always changing. You're always growing. Life is always changing. You're always changing. Your life is always changing. You could be like a fire sign because this is giving me fire sign. We have the rabbit and the fox. Interesting. I've never gotten that card before. It's a very beautiful card, pile 3. All right. Let's see. Since we got fox or rabbit, let's see if we could get one of those in this. One. We got the sea serpent, the color blue. The color blue could be very significant to you right now. You might be going through a hard time of like sadness, but I think like it's bringing you a lot of clarity and like mental clarity. And you may just be trying to go with the flow of things. Which is, it's almost like with this, look, there's a lot of water. You could be also a water sign. There's a lot of water here. There's a lot of rain. It's like there was a big wave that came and like tried to break you down, but it just ended up pushing you further into where you needed to be. That's what I'm getting. Let's see. One of these cards. 1, 2, 3. Got a little castle here. Little kingdom. Yeah. One of these appearance cards. I'm missing a row. Oh, we need to do that. What are people jealous? What about pile 3? About pile 3's appearance that people are jealous of? What about pile 3's appearance are people jealous of? People could be really jealous of your soft hands. You might have like really, really nice hands. You might be a hand model. There could be something about your hands that are very alluring. You could have really nice hands, pile 3. 1, 2, 3. We got warmth came out. This beautiful orange. For some reason, this is making me think of like the Mets, because I think the Mets are those colors. Also, could just be something significant like those colors, orange and blue. You could be someone, since you're like an artist, you could be someone who's very good at like understanding colors, the color theory. You could be really good at also understanding design and what looks good. You could have an eye for design, and it's like you're just talented and you're gifted. And it's not even like you trained to be good at it. You were born good at it. And people could be really jealous of that. Like really, really, really jealous of that. That like you could be really good at like designing things. Like maybe you design things online. And you could get paid for it maybe. Maybe you're getting paid for your artistic abilities. You may also make just everything look good. Like you could maybe have like a really nice Instagram feed or nice website or maybe YouTube or like you may maybe make like aesthetically pleasing like things and like everyone's just like maybe you design for people, like maybe you design websites for people, maybe you design posters, you know, like t-shirts, graphic design. You could be good at graphic design. Something like that. That's what I'm getting. What other card am I missing? We're missing this here. Let's get one more. What else do we have for pile 3? Why else are people jealous of pile 3? 1, 2. We got confidence is key to success. I think you're very confident or you're growing to be very confident. And I think people are like, wow, like this person's warm and confident. Like they're nice and they're also, you know, confident in what it is that they do. You could be very confident in your artistic abilities. Okay, so pile 3. Let's look at what the takeover is, as well as the rabbit and fox, because those cards I have not gotten before. I think I've gotten the takeover card before, but where the hell is this card? Here we go. All right, and then the takeover. Excuse me for clearing my throat. My throat just doesn't like to allow me to breathe sometimes. All right, so I think people are jealous of how you let things in. Oh my god. Okay, this expression may fit a lot for you. Because I'm just thinking about water and like letting things flow, or it's like let it flow or let it go. That expression may be like literally your fucking anthem. And it literally describes like how you live life. It's almost like the law of detachment. Like if it doesn't flow, then let it go. Like if it's not working out, if it's not like if you're trying to force something to happen, like let it go. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. And I think with this takeover card, it really is like saying like you could have gratitude and receive what works for you while also rejecting the things that don't. Like it's okay to reject the things that don't. Whatever, like you don't have to force it. Don't force things into your life. And I think people are jealous the fact that things easily flow in and out of your life and you live on the law of detachment. I think with the artist here, we have the shadow attributes. It says using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to assimilate pity. So I think you may the thing is, I think you don't post as like a starving artist. I don't think you do. I think you may I don't think you say that you struggle or anything with your art, and I think people may be jealous of the fact that you're not like you're an artist that's actually thriving with your talents. I think people also may be jealous that like you don't have to beg in order to get recognition. I think also that could be like a message. You may do like very controversial or maybe more like taboo type of artwork, and maybe you get a lot of publicity because of it, and people might be jealous or try to like, you know, say that, oh, well, you know, she's just doing it for attention or something, rather than, you know, you're just doing it for yourself or this is the type of art that you like. With the appearance, like there's just a lot of talking about like letting things go or letting things go, like letting things flow or let it go. I think you really drift easily through change. I think you're someone who's very good with change. You may have a comfort knowing that you're leaving what's not serving you behind. I think you also could be someone that always knows that no matter what leaves me behind, there's something better coming for me in the future. And it's like, again, like you don't get too heartbroken over leaving things. Like obviously like it's sad and you may have some sadness towards it, but you don't let it control your whole life. People may see you as someone who's a little bit sad though. You may have a lot of sadness, but I think you still push through it. And again, like, you know, it was hard, like, you know, this big wave came, this big, like, you may struggle a lot. You may go through a lot of, like, struggles, instability a lot. I don't think you may struggle with stability. And I think although it's like you still are making it through, you're still flowing with life, and people are like jealous of that. It's like they see that you're struggling, but you're still making it, you're still going, you're still continuing, you're still pushing. And you're also getting these like new opportunities always coming to you. I think although you're also healing from sadness, like you've healed like some sort of emotional wounds here, and now you're comfortable with expressing the desires and expressing what it is that you want in life. You may also be good at like manifesting things. Like you might be someone who's like a bit intuitive, and maybe you manifest things into your life to come. Like maybe you literally write things down, like what it is you want, or you could literally make like a picture board. I made like a whole manifestation board. Maybe that's something you do, or maybe you should do, because you could be really good at manifesting. I'm also like talking very quickly, so you could be someone who talks very fast. With the rabbit and fox, we have generosity begets. What? Begets. Gifts, always offer them while you can. I think a message is and a possible message here for you might be to try to be more generous towards others. Like you may be in a part where you're serving more of yourself right now because maybe you felt like you needed to serve yourself more, put yourself first, which is always good. But maybe a message could be maybe it's time to start being a little bit more generous towards others as well. The moon could be significant for you because we have like the moon. This makes me think of like the moon, and we have like a new moon here. There could be a new beginning coming towards you. We even have like a moon there. There could be something significant about the moon. You could be tapping into more like feminine energy, or even something about the moon. You may want to look up like the attributes towards the moon. Like they talk about how yin and yang, and like the yin, the feminine, I think, represents the moon, and then the yang represents the sun. So it's like there could be something significant about that that you may want to look up. I think this message might also be saying like if you start to bring love and abundance towards others, a love and abundance will start coming towards you. So I think a lot of more opportunities will come to you as well. But I think people are jealous of how you were able to heal emotional wounds, maybe even forgive and forget and move on. You may have healed your like sexual desires too, like something like about your the sea serpent. It talks about like your sensuality, your expressive, being like sexually expressive, and maybe that's something. Maybe you draw. Maybe your artwork shows that, expresses that, like sexuality. And maybe that's something that you are very good at expressing now, or something you've healed from is your sexuality, or feeling free to be a sexual being, because we're human, we were made to be sexual beings. And now it's like you're comfortable with that, or becoming comfortable with that, or healing that possible trauma you may have faced. And that could be something you're bringing into your life, and maybe people are very jealous of, or try to like be like, oh, this person, look at the way they dress or whatever, or look at the artwork, blah blah blah. And it's because they're unhealed. Their sexuality is unhealed, and they feel like they should be ashamed for being a sexual human being. And you aren't. We don't have to be ashamed for being sexual beings. We should be authentically our sexual selves. And then we have the castle here. I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's like a castle, like a house, can be interpreted as the ego or your inner world. You may also need to resolve your feelings about the inevitable death. You may struggle with thinking about death or about dying, and maybe that's something you need to do some reflection on. I think you might be having a bunch of fears about something, to the point where maybe you stay in your inner world, in your ego, or you may have like an ego to protect yourself, like having these like strong walls around you. And maybe that's something that maybe you can let go and start bringing more love into the world, more love towards others and generosity towards others. You don't always have to protect yourself. You could start to, heal yourself. And once you give yourself love, you could give love to others. I think this is also talking about maybe this is what you healed. You were starting to heal your inner world, your inner child. And this is the way that you're doing it through art, through expression. And people may be really jealous of that. People may be jealous because they want to do that, but they are too limited within themselves to go through with it. I think you also may have a lot of confidence, and being confident is key to your success. Like, you will be successful if you continue to be confident and continue to push through and have courage to push through this opportunity, this endeavor, this journey you are on. And again, lastly, you're very warm. You're very nice. You could be someone who's very open and like have these open arms towards new people, meeting new people, having a lot of love and generosity for others, these new people. And I think people may be jealous of that. Okay, let's see what other messages we can get with the tarot. Two of Cups. Wow. Was the first card that came out. There could be some sort of love situation, love bond, unified love. We have Sagittarius, Temperance came out, balance. You may be learning about balance, becoming more balanced, trying to gain more balance. There could be definitely a lack of balance when it comes to stability because you may have had, or you could be becoming more stable and people could be jealous of that. We have Six of Pentacles. You could be someone who is starting to be more generous, more giving, sharing your wealth, doing some charity work, which I think people may be jealous of as well, like that you have the facilities, and like the heart, the kind heart to do so. People may be jealous that you have the wealth to do that as well. Ten of Cups. You may have a really good love relationship, or you maybe had to walk away from a potential marriage or really like loving situation due to personal transition, personal growth, that some sort of resistance that you needed to change and grow from first. So people may be jealous of like, wow, like this person chose themselves over love, over a marriage or something, and you put yourself first. You're like, I need to grow, I need to change, I need to learn for myself first before I can move forward in anything else. And people are like, wow, like very inspired about you, like very like, wow, like this person's very mature, very wise. And that could be something that you're sad about, but it's like people are like, wow, like look at them, but they're also like jealous of like, damn, like that people are like, damn, they don't think that they would be strong enough to walk away from something like that. So people are like jealous of you for being that strong to do so. All right. Thank you so much, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please give this video a like and consider subscribing. Also, if you're interested, check out the 18+ reading of this pile. It's the link is up in the description, the little icon bubble here. If you're interested in checking it out, it's only $1. It's going to be an 18+ extended reading for 20 minutes. And we're going to be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic as well as the Manera Magic Erotic Oracle here as well. We're going to be talking about some 18+ messages that people are maybe jealous of you about. We're going to be using these as well. So if you're interested, please check that out. It's only for $1, and it's going to be 20 minutes long, and it's going to be extending the 18+ reading for this, if you're interested in checking that out. If not, this is the ending of your reading here, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!